hello. I had to not say before I even said hello. There's been a lot of these with a lot of ums. So, I have had a lot of people in my life say I should blog and like write out all my thoughts, which I write out all my thoughts on Facebook anyway. So putting it into a blog probably is definitely a smart idea. But I've definitely had a few people say that I should vlog as well, which I had thought about. And yeah, I guess I just decided to do it. I literally just went to Walmart, picked up like this, like, vlogger kit or whatever that like would hold my phone up or whatever while I was filming, has a little light. Plus I did just get my brand new like Hollywood vanity mirror light, which is beautiful. If you haven't seen the picture that I posted of my vanity, that's worth looking at. In my opinion, my humble opinion, because it's just beautiful and I've spent so much time on it. And then my sister also was like, well, you made yourself a vlogging room, because I've just started setting up my room, and like you can see my little Chase back there and with a cute little pillow and all my decorations, my Michael Scott quote right there. I forgot what it said. Oh, the only time I set the bar low is for limbo. That's right. That's my motivational quote. But yeah, I've just slowly been like putting my room together. And then you can't see the vanity because it's behind the camera right now, but it's been really neat. It's been really nice. Obviously, I should start doing my makeup while I'm talking. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so anyway, in my life right now, gosh, things have been crazy, which I've posted about, so a fair few of you, especially if you're choosing to watch this video, probably have already read some of the things that I've posted. But I have moved up to Vancouver. I still have some people that ask about that. I have, and yes, I see my girls, and yes, me and their dad co-parent very well. I'm proud of us. I am. We're working on perfecting everything. Obviously, we'll never be perfect parents, but working on perfecting our co-parenting relationship, maturing, and all of that. And yeah, I'm just proud of us. So I moved up here in March, right before Corona hit. And obviously that made things crazy. Definitely not what I expected. So coming up here has been cool and different, and I've met some really cool people. It's hard to meet people during quarantine. But yeah, and I've gone through a lot of different experiences, and I've grown a lot in like the last 3 or 4 months. From managing the Verizon store, to coming up here and dealing with pregnancies and such. Like, I've definitely started, starting to lose weight, and then dealing with pregnancy stuff, and obviously, like, being stressed and having to start over, which I just started over, because I was definitely, putting weight back on and such. But I don't know, I guess I'm also trying to choose to see the time I took away is just time that I needed. And I don't know why I get so worried about having the same amount of dots on the side of my face, but whatever. I forget what I was saying. I have no idea. Anywho, I don't know. Oh, see, and I got foundation in my hair. Oh yeah, I had to chop all my hair off. That was fun. It was super duper. I'll tell you that story. So I go in to the salon after quarantine. Because during quarantine, I've made my sister stand behind me, brush my hair, or comb my hair down into a perfect line, and just cut a straight line across the bottom. I mean, it was definitely long enough. If she messed it up, okay, cool. When everything opened up, I would just have them fix it. So I guess I could explain what I just did. I just primed my face, put on my CC cream, which is amazing. If you guys haven't tried the It Cosmetics CC cream, I love it. Unless you're not watching this with makeup, then you can just ignore me. But I am the most forgetful person that I know. Oh, my hair. Okay. So I make an appointment for a week out, which I'm expecting because quarantine. I was expecting like several weeks, but this lady that's like, yeah, I can get you in next Monday. So the next Monday I go in and she's like, what do you want? And I was like, mind you, I have beautiful long red hair to here. And I'm so obsessed with it. It's taken me a year to grow out. And for some reason in her mind, I think she was like, whack it all off. It's the only thing to do with it. It's curly. Whack it off. I don't know. So I'm sitting there, and mind you, I have gotten up, showered, blow dried my hair, and straightened it so that it would be easier to cut, like dry. Because I was like, I just want my layers cut. I don't want anything off the bottom, and then I just want my bangs shortened a little bit because they had grown out. And then just more like texturized on the bottom. I didn't want them as like blunt and straight across. So this lady is like, oh, like layers. And I'm like, yes. And she's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do this and thin some of it out for you because you have so much hair. And I'm like, yeah, I know I have a lot of hair. Like, it's how it goes, you know, like, but yeah, like you can thin it a little bit. I mostly just want my layers trimmed though. And this lady drags a razor down my hair, and I felt it because, like, you know, that tearing feeling. Like, I don't know if you've ever had a razor gone down your hair for texture or whatever, but you can feel all the hair like, ugh, it's gross. It's awful. It made me want to vomit immediately. And I just sat there. And I'm really working on not being somebody who just sits there while somebody chops all my hair off. But I am that person, apparently. So, anyways, yeah, I was leaving, and she like prints out my receipt, and I even am like, oh, I can't not tip her. Like, she was nice. Nothing she did was rude. Like, maybe she really thinks she did the best that she could do, which I don't think so now. I don't know. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, so I like write down a $4 tip. Mind you, it was a $12 haircut. So tipped her well, and she was like, is this a 4? And I was like, yeah, that's a 4. She's like, oh, okay, you can just never tell between 4s and 9s. And I'm like, it's a 4. Like, turn around and leave and get in my car and try not to cry. And on my way home, I was like calling the place. I realized I'm doing this in the camera, not in any of my mirrors. That's okay. But call the salon that my sister had originally told me to call, which of course I was like, oh, well, I already made an appointment with this lady. I don't want to cancel on her. I should have canceled on her. So I called their salon, and they're like, yeah, you know, I can get you in later today. And my sister ended up going with me to get her haircut too. And I sit down in the chair, and the lady that is going to fix my hair is like, so I heard that we have like a situation to fix. And I'm just like, yeah, like, it's all gone though. Like, I just make it even. You know, like, I think I want a bob, because literally I had pieces up to here, and then like pieces here, and then like pieces down here again, and I was just like, there's a few tiny little bits. I can't find them anymore. They're hidden in there. She did an amazing job, the lady who fixed it. But yeah, it was horrifying. And yeah, the lady that fixed it is a rock star. I do love the black, not as much as I loved the red, and it was really hard for me. It still bothers me, but that's okay. I still like go back on my Instagram and I'm like, look at that beautiful red hair. But I've learned my lesson. You know, speak up when something happens, because maybe after the first time she ran a razor down my hair, like, I could have fixed that with like maybe an intense layering something. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe this is all wishful thinking, but like, go to people you know. That's what I've learned. I don't know. Maybe look up reviews. This lady had like decent reviews though, so I don't know what happened there. I'm learning to love the black. Oh, and I have not explained what I'm doing, but I'm just concealing my face. And yes, it's crazy, and yes, there's so much concealer. Well, that's how I like it. And my sister always makes fun of the faces that I make. Just all the time. Or like in her phone when she's trying to take a picture. And she's like, do you actually make the face? I'm like, yes, I do. Unfortunately, I do. Unfortunately, I do because she documents it every single time. And finds some way to post it at some point in time. Not all of them, actually. She's been very nice and kept some secret. And I'm only saying this so she doesn't post them right now. If you have any questions on like highlighting, contouring, making a chubbier face look less chubby, you can ask me. Not that I'll have every answer, but I've gotten pretty good at it. So, I clearly wanted to show you my bedroom. Here. Okay. This is gonna be a long video. I see now why YouTubers like edit these things out and whatnot, because like that whole thing, yeah, not necessary. I'm gonna set this. It's definitely not like a makeup tutorial, but I figure, you know, sit here and watch me. I don't know, you could always ask something. Or just understand what I'm doing. I just got this lash kit. Not just got, but got this lash kit. And it's like doing your own lash extensions. And it's super cool. And much, much cheaper. So, well, not much, but it's definitely cheaper. The first time you buy the kit, it's about the same, but after you have the kit, it's much, much cheaper. So, I don't know why I've really been into translucent powders when doing my makeup. To set everything. Whereas you used to use like really banana-like powders under here. I don't know why I've kind of gotten away from that. I do want to, maybe it's just because the Kat Von D palette, like I ran out of that shade. Because it was so worth it. Yeah, now I want it back. But anyways, there's my bronzer. Kind of just shoved everything around when I was going to make this. So I might have to search for some things. Because I don't want this bronzer. Hold on. It is back here. I'm gonna knock my phone over. I can't be the only one who does this stuff. Alright. Gosh, what else is going on in my life that I want to share with the world? I feel like it would have been very hard to be like a first-time YouTuber because I feel like you would share a lot. Feeling like you're just sitting there talking to people. And then realizing like anybody can take that information and do what they want with it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just the kind of person that gives out all my personal details on the first go. And yes, I'm bronzing like around my forehead area because sun naturally hits the forehead. And the one thing I will say about short black hair is it can definitely like wash you out. So I don't know, I've been loving the like naturally bronzed look anyway going into summertime. I'm not saying anything. I was like, do I keep going? Do I just turn it off? No. Just do my makeup. Lighting is definitely funny on like a camera. This camera actually does a lot for my skin. And yeah, those lashes, gosh, they're just so pretty. Michaela, actually, I was just talking to her recently about these lash extensions because she was looking to get hers done, and I was like, man, it's just as easy to do them yourself and not have to go back in like 4 weeks and get them redone, which if you have the time and money to get lash extensions, actually do it, because that sounds amazing. But I don't, so I figured that I would figure it out myself. Anybody has any good recommendations on like brow brushes? You let me know, because I still use this little guy to like brush my eyebrows out, and it's from a BoxyCharm like brow kit itself. I don't know, I can't seem to let go of that particular little brush. It just brushes my eyebrows out really well. But sorry if I want to not break my stuff. Do my eyebrows. Oh, and I actually do have a better story to tell than my hair one. My hair one's just sad. Unless it's funny. Some people think it's funny. Leandra thinks it's funny. So we live in front of this green belt is what we call it, but it's like a protected swamp, I think, is like the most like best like technical term for this thing that we live in front of. Like, it's just on the other side of our back gate, so there's a bunch of critters and animals, and we deal with jackrabbits all the time, and we're always trying to like not feed the things outside, but like, I don't know, there's just critters everywhere and kids that drop snacks everywhere. So we have this rat problem. Is what I'm going to start with. We didn't know we had a rat problem until, well, okay, there were a few people that were like, Kim, who's my brother-in-law's mother, because a lot of people I know don't know her, but she was here and was talking about how she heard these rats, and we're like, you're crazy, like, I don't think you do, you know. And she's like, yeah, I do, like, I hear mice or rats or something. And then she leaves and I start hearing it, and my sister's like, you're crazy, like, you're just crazy as Kim. Like, no, like, we're not crazy. There actually were rats. We called Orkin because of the moths that were like congregating in our pantry, and so they get here about our moths, and we're like, oh, we kind of have like some ants too and stuff, and then they're getting around the house and they're like, you have rats. I have a lot of rats. Not a lot, but like, they're rats, so any rat is a lot of rats. So then we have to pay all this money to have them come out and like get rid of these rats. And they were here for 3 days straight, I think 2 or 3, ripping all the insulation out of our house, putting all new insulation back in. It's like a super expensive fix, like crazy that we're dealing with it. And in the process of this whole rat caboodle, my older sister, who I live with and love dearly, and I'm outing a lot in this video. She loves me. But she is like, you're hearing things on the rats, right? These people come in, do all this, and then that night we're out in the garage. She goes out to the garage because we're trying to put this microwave together, which was awful microwave to put together. We ended up returning that one and having to get a different one anyway. But she goes to get, maybe this was a new one. Anyway, goes to get electrical tape to try and like tape up the venting part of the microwave so she gets into the workbench that we have outside. And she runs into the house, and I'm like holding, I don't think I was holding up the microwave. I don't know. Sitting there waiting for her to get back so we can tape up this microwave. Is the point. And she comes in like screaming, like, rats, rats, it's so pink. Like, it's so pink. And I'm like, so you found some rats? And she's all, baby rats, tiny rats, they're pink. And I'm like, okay, like, there are pink rats in the garage. So then I'm like, I have to go find this. And I'm like, are they little? And she's like, it fell or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so it can't be like little. And sure enough, hold on. I can never talk when I do this. Okay, moment of silence. Okay, so she makes me go out there. Well, I'm like, I have to go see. Duh. Like, I could just leave them out there because they're like in the drawer of this workbench. And I'm out there like on top of a stool that we have in front of the workbench. And she's like, they're in the drawer. And I'm like opening up the drawer and I'm like, they're not in this drawer. And she's like, they're in that drawer. And I don't know what I'm looking for. Like, I'm thinking like, I'm gonna see a little baby rat, but like a bigger baby rat. Sure enough, in the middle drawer, the one that she was talking about in the first place, there is what looks like a sock, which it's actually like a protective. I hate when I do that. It's like a protective barrier that you put like a stool into or whatever, like the bottom of a chair or something, and it makes it to where it can slide instead of scraping up your floors. So it's like a sock thing, and all of these little tiny itty bitty baby rats are inside of it. There were 8. They're like this big. This big. They were so small. And Leandra's like screaming because I found them, and I'm like trying to like take a video or a picture to ask people like, what do I do with these itty bitty rats? And I'm like, go inside and call Orkin. Like, they were just here. They'll come take care of them. And my sensitive heart can't handle the idea that anybody's gonna do anything other than come pick these guys up and take them somewhere. And my sister comes back out into the garage, on the phone with Orkin, or like she had just gotten off the phone with Orkin. I'm gonna have to fix that eyebrow. And I'm like, so what do we do? And she looks at me, she's like, so, we have to get a trap. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna get a trap. Because they have traps around the house. Like, we've been seeing them put these traps down. And she said one of the sticky ones. And I'm like, okay, like, let's get one of these sticky traps. And she's like, then we stick them to the sticky trap. And I'm like, oh gosh, like, that's crazy. Like, to get them out, like, they can just take the sock. And she's like, then we have to put them in the trash and step on them. I'm like, nope, not doing it. I'm not stepping on itty bitty baby tiny rats. It's not happening. So she's like, we have to do it. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, we have to do something. Like, they have to die. They have to die. And my brilliant self, who maybe was just trying to save my own heart from what it was about to go through, was like, we'll just put them like back over into the green belt, like into the little wildland area, and its mom will come find it. Which isn't how it works. They're probably dead. But anyway, so then I turn around and I'm like carrying this like little sock thing with pliers full of tiny baby rats, and my sister's like, you're not coming in the house. And I was like, yes, I am. Move. Like, it's the quickest route from here to Greenbelt territory. All right, the move. And she's like freaking out, like, those can't come in the house. I'm like, I'm just walking through the house. Just open up the sliding glass door and like the garage door, and I can just go straight through. So she finally does that. Hold on, let me find my breath stuff. So she finally moves out of my way so that I can go through the house to go out back. And she's like freaking out and screaming. And I get outside and I'm like I can't open these tweezers. Like, you want me to throw these, and like I can't like release to like let them like to like release to let them go. Like they're stuck to the pliers at this point, like when I'm trying to do it. And then I like pull them back in front of me to try and like loosen the pliers, and I drop them. It's not funny. It was horrifying. I was like screaming, Leandra. So they like fall on my foot. The sock falls on like my foot, and I jump back so far, and Leandra. Hold on. I can't be doing my makeup when I talk about this because I cry laughing every single time I explain this particular part of the scenario. So Leandra runs inside the house screaming like bloody murder, like scream, like our neighbors had to think we were dying. Screams, runs around the living room while I'm out there like, where did she go? Like, I'm trying to pick up these tiny baby rats now. My sister is nowhere to be seen. I have no help. I have no moral support. And she's running around the living room in a circle like a child, and then running back outside to come not save me in the slightest. And then she's like one fell out of the sock. So then I'm like having to like pick up this baby rat with a pair of pliers and like not squish it too much and put it back into the sock so that I can clamp the sock tighter with the pliers, because then she's like, just throw them over. I've got plenty of pairs. Like, throw the pliers. And we're like dying, like laughing, but like screaming at this point, and I have like no strength. So then I'm like trying to like put my hands on my knees to brace myself so I can get up enough strength to like chuck this thing full of mice, rats, whatever, babies over the fence. And of course my sister's like, how many are there? Hold on. Like, wait, how many? So then I have to sit there and count them. I don't know why. So we threw 8 baby rats over the greenbelt because they had to go, because if the mom found them in the house, apparently that would be very bad, according to Orchid, and I believe them. They are the experts. Thank goodness. They should be gone now, but who really knows? Ew, I hope they are. Well, they're going. I don't know. I guess rats, though, don't like mess with people as much as mice do. Like, they want to stay in their own area and be very hidden. So they're just kind of chilling in their own territory until they can't get back in anymore, which is what we did. We, like, blocked off every single entry they had in and whatnot. But yeah, if you live near, like, a supernatural area, make sure the vents on your house are, like all have grates and such, so that you can't get rats or mice. Apparently that's how they got into our house. Concealing my eyebrows is one of the hardest things for me. I feel like no matter what I do, they never look natural enough. But then I like also don't like supernatural eyebrows anyway, clearly, because look at them. But I don't know, I always go over them with a powder, and I guess I've transitioned into like makeup tutorial mode. I don't know. I wish I could edit these things out. That's my Dutch, my keto coffee, because I'm trying to get back to keto, which is working out. Decided it has to. So, trying to decide what kind of makeup look I plan on going for. Maybe I'll just do what I've been doing, since I know it works. I have had a few people ask, like, about brushes, like makeup brushes in the past. Jaclyn Hill through Morphe has super cheap, not super cheap. Okay, I can't say that. They're not, it's not like going to Walmart and getting a pack, but like definitely cheaper, high-end brushes that work super, super, super well. I think I got her whole brush kit, which actually has like 5 or 6 brushes. 5? I don't know, for 25 bucks, I think, with her little like zipper bag that it comes in, and it's all super cute and packaged well. And it has all the brushes that I would use for my makeup. I do mix them in with like the MAC brushes that I have, but that's just because if you have MAC brushes, you spent that much money on a brush before realizing you could get good quality brushes for much, much cheaper. You just have to use them, because otherwise it feels so pointless. Anyway, yeah, I guess I could definitely go over technique as well. I really, really like small circles in that like crease area, and then windshield wiper motions, and then little circles again, and then windshield wiper motions. So yeah, 5 times fast. Actually, everybody else probably can. It's probably just me that can't. But yeah, it blends it super, super well. I don't know, it's very cohesive. I wonder if you guys can hear that. My nephew is getting a bath and he doesn't care for them. I don't blame him. He's a little boy. He's a dirty little boy. He's so gross. Hopefully you can't hear him. Oh, he'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, once you get used to these two motions, you kind of can like go between like so these little windshield wiper motions kind of build spread the product more like outwards, so you get that really pretty like smoke like up your eyelid, and then the windshield wiper, I don't know, just like evens it out like this way. So I don't know, you definitely want to be able to look and be like, there's color there, but I can't see where the color begins or where the color ends. Hold on. I use like a few different palettes throughout most of the days, and I have a lot of Morphe. I'm realizing almost all of these. Every color I'm using today is Morphe. Morphe just had that whole issue where they were like rumored to have like Jeffree Star be like a co-owner, which as far as I can tell is not true. But I really, really love their colors, and this actually, unfortunately, I don't know, I don't like the guy, but I really love this palette, the Jeffree Star Morphe palette. It has some really, really warm shades, which when I am like in like a blonder vibe with my hair, I love like, I don't know, really ashy tones, not anything warm at all. But then I switched to red hair, and honestly I just did a lot of reds, which obviously is warm, but like even like the more like purpley reds and stuff like would definitely get my eye. So I don't know, or like just a super, super standard like neutral eye was more what I went for when I was red. But now that I have like this short dark hair, I want to like, I don't know, bring out this warm side of me, I guess. I love warm browns, and I see I don't like reds as much anymore though, now that my hair's not red. At this point I'm just rambling about colors, but if any of you have like, not like orange palettes, but if you know of like a palette that's like really, really like rich, like chocolatey browns, you should definitely let me know. Because I have a ton of orange. I just have like one really, really like pretty chocolate brown color in all of my palettes, because they were all so neutral or like cool toned. That's what I was looking for. I love finally putting like color on my under eye. I feel like it always brings everything that I'm doing together. And it feels so much prettier. mostly everything is just really light feathery motions. I'm like holding my brushes at the end of the brush because it definitely like, I don't know, lets the brush be a brush instead of like just like a pinpointed, I don't know. Just hold them towards the end of the brush is more what I'm saying, I guess. Or I do. You do you. If they work closer, show me how, because it's probably easier. This is that really, really pretty, like, chocolatey brown that I was just talking about. Gosh, what's it called? It's called Hi Dude. First there was another one I thought it was, which is like more of an orangey color that was like, hi girl. Cute. Okay. So here I'm more like pushing in towards my lid and then small circles. And this is also my first time putting makeup on with these lashes already on, and I have to say it's amazing. Like, I can barely feel them at all still. The more I put under my under eye, like the more I like pull it back, like out too. This time isn't fun. Oh gosh, poor guy. The funniest part is you probably can't even hear him. Oh. There. I need to blend this more. As I'm getting like closer and closer to the finished product, I just like to blend with the biggest brush that I use, like the very first one that I used again. I definitely feel like when I started doing makeup, watching people do it, it was like they're doing something else with their brush that I can't see, and it's just like magically going on. And what I can say is that's not true. It's just practice. Like, the more you practice, the more you know where to hold your brush to get which kind of pressure. It's like riding a bike, I feel like, because once you're like, oh, like if I use this kind of brush and I put this kind of pressure on it, then I'm going to get this effect from it. And I mean, it sounds more technical than it is, but it is kind of technical, I guess, too. Because I definitely remember that feeling well and being like, how is it so easy for these people in here to just like flawlessly put on their makeup? But I don't know, after realizing they probably have done it every single day for the last so many years, they figured it out. Most of it anyway. Some of it's awful to try and like blend. If something's not blending, I like start over with a different palette. I don't know, there are some colors that just don't, and like foundation too. Like, I don't use a lid primer, which I guess could definitely be bad juju. But that's why I conceal my eyelid and set it, and then start putting shadows on top. I have really oily eyelids, so I prefer concealer and setting over using like an eye primer. They can be a little bit more oily in my opinion, and like I need like a flat, like a matte base to put my eyeshadow over to get it to blend out better. than like, I don't know, a sticky base. It just doesn't work well for me. I wonder if other people have that problem. I feel like they probably have to. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a drier person, but I feel like being oilier, you would want like less sticky. You would like want matte eyelids. I don't know. I mean, I was oily at one point and I preferred it then as well. This is just a clear mascara for these eyelashes in particular. And then I should do my bottom ones. Sometimes I say things so quiet and I'm like, nobody heard that. Like I'm mumbling. I guess I normally mumble to myself when I'm doing my makeup, so maybe that's the natural part of me coming out. I don't know. I always laugh at myself too though, because nobody's in here. Nobody's ever in here. And I'm talking away. I feel like I wanted them to be more dramatic. Sweet. My sister just got this makeup from like a local, somebody who makes makeup locally, makes it, designs it. I don't know how that works, but it's amazing. And it was like, you know, this girl's local, is doing like her own business. It's like a small business and it's this good. Like, and the packaging is cute. It's called like Madame Leroux. I don't know. I should probably tag her in this if I'm putting her makeup in here, but I know she's on Facebook. My nose ring's always driving me nuts. I don't know. Her stuff sells out really quick though, so she's clearly got enough business, but it's really good. And that's one thing my sister and I were talking about earlier too, is this lipstick is called Eat the Peach, and it smells like peaches. Like, it is so good. And it does not come off. So I put some on the back of my hand, like you can see that little stripe, and I have scrubbed on top of my hand. Like, now I didn't use like soap or anything yet. I'm assuming that takes it off. Hopefully it's all over my lip now. But it does not come off. Like, yeah, my sister was like, I should have found this for my wedding. And I'm like, well, yeah, definitely, because it's not going anywhere. As far as doing lips, all I can say is take your time. And the more you do it, the better it'll become. I don't know. I guess I'm grateful to have like normal, I don't know, not normal, like your standard like lip shape, so that when I watch YouTube tutorials I can just watch them do it over and over and over again. But yeah, I'm all done. And I guess I've explained most of the parts of my life that I planned to or thought about doing this. So, I don't know. I hope you guys all have a good week and you feel pretty and, or handsome, whatever you go with. There's all my curls. I was like, where'd all my curls go? Because I can't see them. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you have a good week.